Did you learn so far? Well, what happens initially is that when we talk about emptiness, and this is the main topic for the next 2 days, there's a sense, well, no, there's nothing there. That question, automatically we go to another extreme, that there's nothing there. And so, it's very important to always remind ourselves, well, it doesn't mean there's nothing there. What this means, what is described here, what is explained here, is just saying that things just don't exist exactly as solidly as we think. Okay? So it's not saying we're not there, it's not saying other phenomena are not there, that there's nothing. In fact, only because form is empty, emptiness is form, because things don't exist the way we mistakenly believe, that's why they can exist. If they really existed the way they appear to us, nothing would be possible. It will be impossible to interact, it will be impossible to change, it will be impossible for things to be different from each other, for something to be one, etc. And it's easily misunderstood that not existing inherently, and I'm not just talking about the word, but the meaning of not existing inherently means the same as not existing. Why? Because for us, existing and existing inherently, they are the same thing. So when you hear about emptiness initially, it's like, what are they talking about? How else could it exist? Because of course to our mind, in every moment, things appear as really, truly, in and of themselves, as this, that, and the other. Okay? And maybe a good example, I find an example I always come back to, because of course I go through the same that you go through. You know, thinking about emptiness, it's like right away the mind goes, ooh, but it can't be there then, right? Or it's like I'm not in the middle at all, like either it's not there at all, or I give it more of an existence than it actually has. I add more to it. It's very difficult to find the exact middle. And the method to understanding emptiness is getting closer and closer to this middle until you're free from those two extremes and it perfectly makes sense. And there are definitely different ways to come to that understanding, but according to the Buddha's explanation, one very important method is analysis. To first, of course, hear about it and then to analyze, to understand it, and then when we're ready to internalize it. And that takes a lot of time. That's why in the Tibetan Buddhist tradition, in the Gelugpa tradition in particular, monks and nuns and also lay people now spend many, many years, 17, 20, 22 years learning about this. But of course it's not just studying in the way I said yesterday, it's actually trying to apply this to your own life and going deeper and deeper as you go along. But the one example that I always come back to understand this, to understand, like, for instance, qualities such as long and short. Okay? So if you have a stick, I always have a stick in front of me. Okay, so you got a stick like this, and it seems this is in and of itself long, right? We would kind of say, it's kind of a longish stick. Those are shorter ones, right? Or maybe you have a sense, oh, this is really short. Okay? Whatever is your sense, and I'll ask you, is it long, is it short? In general, there's a sense, oh, that's kind of a short thing, or it's kind of a long thing. It's like something appears to the mind. Or maybe neither, I don't know. But anyway, so there are these characteristics. Okay? So a stick can only be a stick if it has characteristics. Right? So we say it's a stick because, and then there are all these characteristics that come to mind. It's not in and of itself a stick, But when we take any of the characteristics, such as its length, okay? So when you think of being long, for instance, if that comes to mind, I don't know whether you can catch that, but there's a sense it's got this longness with it that comes along with the stick. Or it's short, whichever appears to your mind. But actually, although it appears as if this longness was somehow inside it, carries its own size, if you analyze, it's only in relation to a matchstick, for example, that this is long. It's only in relation to that object that we can say it's long. And in relation to a broomstick, this is short. Okay? And if you didn't have these other things, anything shorter or anything longer, you couldn't say it's long or short. So if these other things, hypothetically, the broomstick, something shorter, something longer, if it didn't exist, it would neither be long nor short. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So it's only in relation to something other than itself that it can be long and short. And moreover, we need a mind to perceive it as long or short. Right? We need a mind that determines it's long or short. So otherwise, how could we say it is that? So this is really what we're talking about. Now, long and short are easy. Relatively easy. Everyone gets long and short. Everyone gets cold and hot. Tall and low. Right? But that same logic, that same reasoning I just introduced, it applies to you as a person. Same, it's exactly the same. So anything you say about yourself, okay, if you think of yourself as a person, anything you think about, it is only in relation to something other than you're thinking of that you are that thing. So you're a human being. Okay, you're a human being. Well, it's in relation to your body, which is not you. In relation to your body, you're a human being. You're a daughter. It's in relation to this other man and women, man and a woman, that you are a daughter, or a son, you're a child. Someone's son, a child, I should say. So you're someone's child in relation, again, to this other person. If you didn't have parents, as in you never had parents, you weren't born by it, you wouldn't be a son or a daughter. Then you're a mother, in relation to 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't know how many kids. Or you're not a mother. No kids. What else? You're Israeli, in relation to not just your parents, probably your passport, your citizenship, in relation to that. Okay? So it's always in relation to numerous other things that you become that. If those things didn't exist, you wouldn't be that. If you didn't have a human body, you wouldn't be a human being. If you didn't have an Israeli passport, there would be no country Israel, you wouldn't be Israeli. If you didn't have parents, you wouldn't, right? So it's always in relation, just as this stick, in order for it to be long, it needs something short. In the same way, to be anything, you need other things. You need other things. If you want to be A, you need lots of other things that are different from A in order to be that. But you also need someone to label human, to come up with this idea, with the convention of human. Either you come up with it, or someone else did and you learn about it. So there's just nothing you can say about yourself that does not exist in relation to something other, and moreover, dependent on this other, there's a mind that labels woman, man, Israeli, etc. Okay? It's as simple as that. But to our mind, that doesn't seem enough. To our mind, if it's just that, then there's nothing really there. Right? How could it? So that's the difficulty here. To make sense of that and realize only because it is that way, it can exist. If it existed in a way in which it seems it's in and of itself, this, that, and the other, then it wouldn't make sense. And of course, yesterday, that was so beautiful, the question about Bibi, who's in a lot of trouble, by the way. You're not supposed to know. You'll find out. Sorry, I couldn't. But I really like, what's her name? Nina? She's like very practical. Right away. I mean, yeah, it's funny to think, it's fun to analyze this and stuff. But it doesn't help me, right? Very practical. So important to go right to, how is this relevant to my life? What do I care what the Buddha said and, tough me out, I'm not sure, right? It's true or not, I'm not sure. Okay, so how does that help me? And so that's what's so important, to not just understand what I just talked about, but on top of that, how is this relevant to me? How can I in any way deal with my problems? And this is what Nagarjuna yesterday, the bits we read, that Nagarjuna explained. In the way that he said, A is our misperception, Z is our problem. Our problems, our worries, our dissatisfaction, our fear, our depression. All these different states of mind that we experience, there's like, when I say A and Z, what I'm trying to say is that there's so much in between. It's not like you jump from a misperception to like a headache. It's not as simple as that. Or you jump from a misperception to depression, etc. There's a lot more in between. And that has to do with psychology, the way our mind works. So let me go through that briefly one more time, how you get from A to Z. Okay? So there is this sense that the shortness or longness is within the stick. It's in and of itself. So that's hard to recognize that your own mind actually perceives it that way. How can you know you do that? Well, when someone else says this is beautiful and you think it's so ugly, and you catch yourself thinking, oh, that person's so weird. They really don't know what's nice. Right? They got a really, what is it? I don't know how to say it in German. I don't know whether you say that in English, but like, this person's got a bad taste. Do you say that? Oh, they got a weird taste. Right? Because I think it's beautiful, and I believe this beauty comes from the side of the object. It's objectively beautiful, and so therefore, someone doesn't see that, or ugly, in that case, ugly, well, they're just a little weird. They don't see things for what they are. Right? So if you catch yourself thinking that, it's in and of itself, this person's evil, this is that. Simplifying. Actually, also with Bibi, we didn't talk about, well, first of all, the fact that it's in relation to what I need, what I think is good or not, but also Bibi is a lot more than that. Maybe he's a very loving husband, a wonderful father. He isn't? Okay. All right, maybe not.
In a way he is.
Okay, let's not.
In a way.
Pardon?
No, because of the fact that it's not proof that it's not.
Okay, all right. So anyway, the point is, he's very complicated. Like we ourselves, right? We ourselves. I do things that I'm not proud of, but I don't want you to define me by those qualities, by those actions, right? We all do things, and every day we do things that are appropriate, and we do things that are harmful. We do things that we're proud of, and we do things we're not proud of. I don't want anyone to define me, I'd rather you define me by my good quality. The point is, it's a lot more complicated. We are very complicated beings. And Bibi is too. So to just judge someone, I'll take questions later. So so we can't, you see, we have this sense of trying to simplify it, bypassing because of, I don't know, that one quality, but we don't see all these qualities, how can we know, right? And so I'm just saying, we're trying to simplify, we're trying to make things more solid, and it's almost like Bibi gets stuck with that, right? He's stuck with that. Maybe I should not take someone like Bibi, it's too emotional, but anyway, someone, that would dislike, as if this person would always be that, only has that quality, And it's nothing to do with my mind and my perception, because, I mean, how many times do we misjudge a situation when actually it's a lot more complicated than it is? So really, if we have that sense, it is like this, okay? Our mind thinks it is like this. And that's just the thought in relation to other things. So we don't see the whole picture. How could we? I mean, I'm not even aware of my own mind, let alone the mind of other people. I don't know what they're thinking, what are their motivations, not at all. But I think this guy is stupid. And then, like with the Prime Minister, remember yesterday I told you about, you get a new Prime Minister, and initially you need to remind yourself, oh, Prime Minister, you're labeling. And then it seems it comes from the side of the Prime Minister. Here in this case, in the case of saying this person is stupid, it's like you label it, and then it seems to come from the side of the person very quickly. And then every time you see this person, oh, that's the stupid guy. As if I recognized him being stupid, that's why I thought he was stupid, instead of it's the other way around. I labeled that person, and now I believe it comes from the side of the object. Now, but that's still A. That is still trying to get you from A to Z, or whatever it is, right? So, it's very simple the way I've just said it, but there's more to it. It actually starts off with I. There's the mind, there's a mind here, right? Here where I sit, there's a consciousness that's active, because there's a body that allows that consciousness to be active. And that consciousness now, naturally, conceptual mind, making sense, me, you. Okay? I, others. That's probably as a child, that's how you learn to make sense of the things around you, to learn to say I and others. Now, once you've done that, because of our mind being so habituated to it, then there's a sense, I is really here, and you are really over there. There's no sense, oh yeah, from my perspective, in relation to this mind, it's I. In relation to Tomer's mind, it's others, right? Okay, so actually he's also I. But I'm labeling I in relation to this mind, then I believe, no, this is really I. And you're just truly other. Okay? From your own side, you're just other. And so, this mind experiences happiness or suffering. That's a natural wish or natural need for the mind to be calm and happy. That's its natural state. Right? And so there's this wish to be happy. A wish to be happy. Which is totally natural, and this mind deserves to be happy, just as every other mind deserves to be happy, and has the potential to do so. But already I've moved away from that sense of happiness because I've drawn this distinction. I'm here, you're over there. That distance between us is a lot greater to my mind than it actually is in reality. Then happiness, my happiness, it's over here. This mind's happiness. Your mind's happiness is over there. What do I care? Kind of that's the next step. So my happiness is therefore more important. Okay? And that's where the trouble really starts. The misperception in itself, if we were to stop at just that, we wouldn't be we wouldn't have the trouble we have right now. No, now I'm overemphasizing my happiness. My happiness is more important than yours. And already we can recognize that mind. What is that called? Self-centeredness, self-charity. And from now on, it's pretty obvious that trouble starts. In the sense that now I judge every situation I find myself in is judged, what can you call it, like a measuring pole? Or, like, is there a better word for that? Like, I measure it from now on. Scale. Okay, scale, that was better. So, based on, does it bring me happiness? And not just me, but that which is mine. Does it support, does it help that which is me and mine? Okay? And everything is judged now, from now on, whether good or bad. Okay? I mean, look at our political views. If it brings me and my family advantage, if Bibi gives, every person who's got blonde hair money from now on, or, it's got a certain shape or whatever, you're gonna like Bibi. You want to help it, can't help it. Bibi just gives you $1 million. It's like, however much you hated him before, slowly you're like, yeah, he's really like that, it's okay. I can use those $1 million, right? I mean, just think about it. I'm just exaggerating here. But in relation to benefiting you, your ideals, everything in relation to this mind, now it's good or bad. And it's only in relation to this mind. In relation to another mind, very different. But this is truly right. This is truly me, this is true, and so therefore, it seems to be Bibi is truly good or bad. Forgetting that's only in relation to what I want, what I need, what I think is okay. Okay. And then, of course, attachment arises. An exaggerated sense of importance of this I leads to an exaggeration, okay, of the goodness of something, the pleasantness. That's where the exaggerating mind sets in. So, if I don't like Bibi, not only do I think he's really truly bad, but the badness is so bad that good qualities, I can no longer think about them. There's no room. In my mind, there's no room because he's just evil. He's so evil that I don't want to hear he's a good person in other ways because he's just evil. So the mind exaggerates. It sees Bibi as totally, oh God, I shouldn't use Bibi the whole time. You're both in our person. I'm kidding. So, you see, Bibi is just...
it's a metaphor.
It's just a metaphor, I know, yeah. But you're gonna like him that much at some point. No, I'm kidding. But the point is that you totally exaggerate. It's no longer, it's in relation to this, in relation to that. No, in and of itself. It becomes permanently. You get stuck with that. So your picture of Bibi does not accord with the actual. Have you met the guy? I mean, how many times? Maybe you shook his hand once. I mean, that's about it. But you don't have any personal relationship with him. I don't think so. So maybe you do, but it's a small country. But still, the point is you don't really know this person, and you have this image of this person, and you act accordingly, right? You don't check. Is this in accordance with? Does that make that whole person and this person is changing all the time? So then, out of this exaggerated view, simplified view of this person, anger arises, dislike arises. And does it harm Bibi? Oh no, it doesn't. It harms yourself. The Buddha said, becoming angry is like eating poison and hoping the other person to die. Right? So, you're harming yourself with this anger because this anger is a disruptive mind. And it creates an energy in your body, and it creates chemicals in your body right away that are harmful. And this is not what the Buddha talks about much, but actually modern science has established this through research that people who have a lot of anger, it releases, and here a lot of anger, because that's more obvious, but even a lot of anger is harmful, a little bit is a little harmful. Okay? And I'm thinking it's bizarre, we eat organic food, but we allow ourselves to get angry. It's not good for the body, right? Spend so much money on all that organic food, don't even know whether it's organic, right? And then what about the anger? It right away releases chemicals in the body, our aversion, etc. It's very unhealthy. And not just that, then it gives rise to actions of body, speech, and mind. We act in a certain way that is now governed by that anger, by that dislike. Okay? And it becomes an exaggerated action, and there's an intention of harming, to harm someone. And because everything is interconnected, sooner or later that comes back to us. I mean, that's just, if you look at the environment, because everything is interconnected, you put a little bit of poison in the ground, and you may not experience that poison right there and then, but eventually, in some form or another, it comes back. It affects us. If everything is interconnected, what goes around comes around. Okay? That's a little hard to understand. That's a little difficult. But if you look at your own mind, sometimes without any reason, you feel miserable. Feeling not good. Though everyone else feels really good. What is the cause of that? Random or ripening of something you've done in the past. Right? And suddenly it ripens and it comes and goes because of course we're not stuck in it. We create new actions all the time. But the point is we experience a lot of unwanted emotions, a lot of unwanted states of mind. The external circumstances are a lot less what we mean with karma. It is the experience of the mind. Right? Of course, usually like gaining something we associate with happiness. Alright? But it's really the happiness, the happy state of mind, that is the result of a mental action in the past. And if that mental action in the past was governed by hatred, by aversion, by envy and so forth, well, it's basically these motivations lead to actions that actually harm others because of the motivation, and therefore that harm returns at some point. And that's what we don't want. That's the one thing we don't want. If we really wanted to suffer, if we enjoyed suffering, right? Well then anger would be good. We should be angry. We have a whole meditation on how we can be angry. Right? A whole course. But of course, that's not what we want. And the Buddha only said it's good or bad only in relation to what we actually want, what our mind wants. But the thing is, the one thing we want, to be happy, to be satisfied, how do you know that's what you want? Because all the time we aim for things outside of ourselves. And there's this weird belief, if I had that car, I'd be alright. I'd be really happy. If I was with that person, all my problems would be solved. Right? It's not a rational mind as much as a feeling that is very difficult to recognize. But there's a sense, this will give me lasting happiness. So it shows we are looking for lasting happiness. We are looking for some satisfaction that will last. We're looking for it. But we're looking in the wrong places. Because we don't realize pleasure is coming from the mind. It's pleasure coming from the mind. But then we label the object as pleasurable. And before long, we believe the pleasure is within the object, so we want the object. But the pleasure comes from the mind. Unless you have a mind that is trained, that it can experience pleasure, and then seriously, you can sit in the middle of an Indian garbage pile and be the happiest person. If you can be cleaning Indian toilets, that's like the worst job. And you'll be so happy. Your life is meaningful. Right? Versus you can be, I don't know, king of the universe. If you're not happy with it, then nothing will give you happiness. Right? Just short glimpses of the absence of something worse, which then you call happiness. That's it. Therefore, you can see that actually happiness can only come from the mind, because pleasure is experienced by the mind, and it's the objects outside. It's only because we believe they're inherently unpleasurable, and when we have those objects, for a short period, they stop something that's worse. A worse kind of situation. Like, some problem, because it's temporary, so you're basically, it's like when it's really cold outside, and it gets a little warmer. In relation to what was there before, it's so much better, and we believe that's real happiness. It's just the absence, the temporary absence of something worse. And we call it happiness. And we all know, when you were terribly sick for a week, and then the first day you get better, and you feel the way you usually feel, on that day you're really happy. Why? Because the worst part is over, so you feel really happy. So it's only in relation to what was there before that was so much worse that you now think is happiness. But then if you were happy like that every day, it wears off, because now you're kind of used to that. None of those states of mind are true happiness. You cannot, with this mind, experience true happiness because of that misapprehension of reality. It's in the way. You cannot just relax and let go and just be. The mind can't do that because there's always my happiness. There's always, you can never truly enjoy. Am I making sense? But you could. Your mind has the potential to do so. That's why the Buddha spoke up. He said, but, oh my God, what a waste. All this energy we spent, all this time and energy, all this worry, right? And we do the craziest things. I never forget Kid Satoshi, one of his